won't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. Good friends we have, and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say.
Black Panther 2, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Icon with some Marvel trailer reviews. And before we even start, I've said this before. If you go check out the Tacos and Geek podcast, the ONG podcast with myself, Sean, and Gotham Geek girl Nadia, you've probably heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again because I don't think I've said it on my own damn channel. I was not a fan of their decision to not recast T'Challa. And I'm going to say why. T'Challa should be recast. And for the simple fact that T'Challa, the character, is a Marvel character that's been engraved in Marvel, like echelon throughout the years. T'Challa, the character, has, many stories to tell and so many different things, and there's so many different places that we can explore and go with the character. And unfortunately, as much as we all love Chadwick Boseman, as much as we love Chadwick Boseman's performance as Black Panther, and we're sad, to hear of his passing, I would think that Chadwick Boseman himself would like them to recast the role just so another black actor can have that opportunity. Because just because we unfortunately lost Chadwick Boseman doesn't mean we also have to lose T'Challa. And again, I was never in favor of them not recasting. With that being said, if you're not going to recast him, you have to put the costume on Shuri. Right out the gate, sorry, Sean, right out the gate, having Michael B. Jordan be Black Panther is stupid. If they put Michael B. Jordan in the costume, I'm done. I'm walking out of the theater, I'm flat out done. And the reason why that is, forget it. Let's just talk logically for a second. When it comes to the lineage of the crown, when you have a king, a queen, a prince, and a princess, and let's say the king has a brother. If something happens to the king, the queen takes over. If something happens to the king and the queen, and both children are under the age of 18, the uncle becomes king until one of those kids turns 18. If the uncle dies, and if the father's gone, and if the mom's gone, or if she's too old to step up and take the mantle, and the child or one of the two children have become 18 years of age, then the child, then in this case the brother steps in from prince and he becomes the new king because he's 18 years old now and he's replacing his daddy. If something happens to the prince and the prince is no longer king and the queen decides that she doesn't want to take the mantle, then it goes to his sister, who is the princess, who's now the queen, when she turns 18 as well. So if we're talking logically, it has to go to Shuri. Like, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about storyline writing. I'm not talking about sitting in the writer's room. I'm not talking about like the Marvel brain trust where they try to come up with, what they're going to do. If we're talking logic as far as like how the crown works, it has to be Shuri. And I'll accept it if it's Shuri because at least it's his sister, and whatever story, whatever comic book stories that, T'Challa had throughout the course of history, you can give those same stories now to his sister because it's his sister, and if she's the female Black Panther, she's still the Black Panther. They even said it. They said the Black Panther has been passed down from generation to generation, generation to generation. So anyway, and if we're talking on a scale of like next in line to the crown, now that T'Challa's deceased, Shuri trumps Michael B. Jordan's character anyway. So now regarding the trailer, nobody spoke in the trailer except for the mama. And she was just like, and this is very interesting because if you pay attention, she legitimately said, I lost my entire family. So there has to be a point during this film where we think Shuri dies too. So, to the point where like the mom now, she has to take over the crown because there's nobody left. And if the mom is giving that speech, that says to me that there is no Michael B. Jordan if she feels, because again, if something happened to Shuri, then yeah, Michael B. Jordan's character, if he's still alive, would take over as the king of Wakanda. But if he's not even there represented, if the mom has to give that speech, I'm gonna assume that Michael B. Jordan's not in the film. And he shouldn't be because him taking over is ridiculous. So, so the villain, we're going to Atlantis, they're stealing from Aquaman. We're going to Atlantis, and Atuma, like he's there. We have a whole bunch of new characters. Maynor the Submariner, he's gonna be there as well. And it's gonna be, I guess it's gonna be where like the land of Atlantis is trying to take over the land of Wakanda. If you go on Disney Plus and watch Avengers Assemble, the final season of Avengers Assemble, which I believe was season 4 or 5, that entire season was based on Black Panther and T'Challa. So if you want to know more about the Submariner and Atuma and like Atlantis versus Wakanda, go check that series out. I believe it was 13 episodes, and it was actually really enjoyable. I definitely did like it. But here's the most interesting thing to me. We saw Shuri, and I watched the panel. I saw the panel. So we got to meet all the characters and everything. I saw the panel for Wakanda Forever, and I liked when the character that plays M'Baku, when he came on, that was dope. Like when they announced his name and he came on stage, the entire audience started going ooh ooh ooh, and then he played right into it. He grabbed the microphone. He was like, "Epa! Ooh ooh, epa!" So like that was dope. Check that out too if you get a chance to see that. So he's there. Like I said, Lupita's there. Hell, I was thinking at one point maybe you give Lupita the costume, or maybe she steals the costume and then she just takes over. Or maybe Shuri allows her to take the costume. If that happens, where if the whole thing is, if they're trying to convince Shuri to take the mantle and Shuri doesn't want to do it because she's afraid, doesn't feel like she can compete with her brother, whatever, and then Lupita just steals a costume and just decides, screw it, I'm just going to be Black Panther, I'll accept that too. But, but anyway, the most important thing about it, especially when I saw the panel, this is important. When Marvel did their little slate for Phase 5 or Phase 6 or whatever, one of the films that was entitled on the phase was Ironheart. And Ironheart, the character who plays Ironheart is Riri Williams. Riri Williams' character is in this movie. When they announced all the actors and actresses that are going to be in Wakanda Forever, like Ryan Coogler literally said, "Oh, please give it up for our Riri Williams." And when he said that, I was like, wait, what? So the girl who was supposed to be like a genius in tech and everything, that basically built her own Iron Man costume out of damaged Iron Man parts that she found throughout the town, apparently that's not happening anymore, and she has a tie-in to Wakanda, because there was even a moment where she saw Shuri and the two of them gave each other a high five. At the end of the first Black Panther movie, T'Challa and Shuri did say that they were going to create a school or something, like for the underprivileged children, but that was supposed to take place in like California, and Riri's supposed to be from New York. So we've already, I'm not going to judge that before I see how they string that together, but the girl need to be from New York. So unless it's Shuri going to New York and meeting her, basically the Ironheart film, basically like Wakanda Forever is the low-key pilot for the Ironheart film. So, keep an eye out on that. So we'll, and I said we'll see. So I definitely do want to see, what's going on with the Submariner, with Atuma and the whole thing with Atlantis and why Atlantis got beef with Wakanda. I'm definitely interested in that, to see all the characters return and see where things go and see how everything ties in. So now, when Black Panther drops, because I believe it drops in November. It drops in November. So when it drops in November, like I said, we'll check it out. We'll definitely do a review and see where everything goes from here, and see what decision was made regarding the Black Panther costume. Because towards the end, we actually did see like the claws come out, like somebody put the damn suit on. So either it's Lupita, either it's Shuri, or unfortunately they're gonna resurrect Michael B. Jordan character, which I said to me is just stupid. So share your questions, comments, and or concerns down below. Hit me up on Twitter and or Instagram, always on YouTube, where you can speak to me, regarding everything, because we always go back and forth with everything. I definitely enjoy talking to all you guys. Thanks for tuning in as always. So until the next one, it is always Wakanda Forever. Until the next time, I'm out this